No.
All right, we're going to get things started. My name is Melvin Lewis. I'm one of the 3 instructors for FSTS. My manager, Dave Dobb, and my partner, Laura Morris, and we represent the FSTS staff. And some of the things I want to talk about today is support. I want to talk about support. So every class I try to come up with one word that kind of symbolizes what the class embodied. And support came up a lot. Support from around the room, support from each other, and then support from your family. So what we're going to do is, in tradition of FSTS, we're going to go around the room so that these young folks, our future partners, can see the support that they have from you guys. We'll start with Dave, and we'll talk about the area that you represent, how many years you've been at UPS, and your title.
Dave Dow, Hub Training Manager. I've been with the company for 34 years.
Bill Clarkson, full-time supervisor, Next Day Hub Training, 25 years.
Donna Amity, 26 years, Next Day.
Angela Montgomery, Customer Service, 35 years.
Rob Steinberger, 21 years, import.
B. Craig, International Small Store, 32 years.
Tyler Curley, full-time soup, wing out unload, 7 years.
Brian O'Brien, Wingate Outbound, 30 years, full-time supervisor.
Mary Kay Kraft, been at the company for 18 years, manager for Wingate.
Mike Sowers, Manager International, 15 years.
Carly Chapman, Wing B, East Outbounds, full-time soup, and 20 years.
Mary Cookladis, 15 years, 1 day, OPC manager.
Commercial Program Division, 29 years.
David Cooper, wing C ramp, full-time soup, 25 years.
David Delph, 32 years, Next Year Wing Division.
Tad Dowdy, Security and BSC Division, 34 years.
Kevin Butler, Building 1 full-time supervisor, 18 years.
Jason Foote, 29 years, Worldport Operations. Mike Perkins, Wing B Manager, 26 years.
Andy Hutfinger, 36 years, Wing C.
George Baker, wing H, full-time soup, 18 years.
Tyler Hunley, full-time soup, 9 years, Next Day Small Store Primary.
I'm Blue Wimmer. I've been here 33 years. I'm the manager for Building 1 and Ramp 6.
Charlie Harper, 35 years, manager small store, and yes, you guys bailed us out the other night, thank you.
Jason Rutledge, Next Day Great Lane, 20 years.
Mike Vaughn, Next Day Great Lane, 17 years.
Mike Lee, 36 years, Great Lane manager.
Gabrielle Hausman, Great Lane Shift Coverage, 3 years.
Amber Dunn, Great Lane Shift, full-time soup, 19 years.
Kevin Stone, 26 years, Great Lane, shift, and H wing.
Derek Smith, full-time soup, 18 years, truck dock and freight zone.
Brad Wright, Freight Facility, full-time soup, 23 years.
Chip Titus, Freight Facility, 34 years.
Tyler Burton, small store outbound, full-time soup, 15 years.
Rod Thorne, Round 6, 17 years.
So as you can see, a lot of people have been here a long time, a lot of support around the room, right? So if you have any questions, you have people to lean on. And it takes me back, because we're at a transitional time right now where we got to get you guys microwaved up, right? You're not going to have that opportunity like I had. I call it the easy bake oven. I was put in the oven. I had time to curate. I had time to bake over the last. I saw this place grow from Great Lane, Ash Bottom, to what we have now, that animal out there, that Worldport. And it's a fine-tuned animal. It does good. But I had a long time to make mistakes and capitalize on those mistakes. The way this room is going, you heard a lot of 30s in there, right? A lot of 25s. We need you guys to microwave up to that speed. So any questions that you have, please ask. Lean on that support. Don't hold back, because we got to get that tribal knowledge that everybody's carrying down to you guys, right? Get the experience, learn what you have. We did 13 days. It's hard to cram all that information in 13 days and for you to come out. You got some things that you're gonna take back to your operation that you can sharpen in your tool belt, right? So let's do that. With that being said, we're gonna go into the video.
I love when computer times out. Technology is my favorite. Why?
Bad when the security guy knows how to fix this.
Hey Melvin, let's do a little memory recall. Where y'all were at in that movie right there, say what you were saying right there. Just repeat back. Right there, I'm saying.
That's right. We know everything.
I am the future never know what I'm taking pictures for, right? We did a lot during the last 3 weeks of class, right? We had some fun times, we had played games, we did role plays, we went and did community service at St. Joseph's Children's Home. There's a lot of time for you to bond together as a team, as teams, as a class. Hopefully in the last 3 weeks we've given you a lot of resources and tools that you can take back and use when you go back out there, right? You talked about support, and everybody in this room that supports you. They're here to support you, and you're here to support each other. They invested a lot of time sending you to this class. So make sure when you go back out, they get some return on their investment. And you take the things that you learned and you use them out there in the operation to make you more successful. So with that said, I'm going to do some of the fun awards. Okay, so when I call your name, just stand up. Our first one's our knowledge beat. It's kind of our final test review that we do before the test. And the winner from this class from the one-day small sort C, Rusty Rally. Next is our team. At the beginning of class, they're all put into teams. They're from different areas, days, nights, different freight, hub, ramp, and over the 3 weeks, things count toward their scores. Some are just fun activities, their test scores, their PCMs. All those things count together, and so the winner from this class are the Flying UPSers. I will call your names individually. So first, from one day small sort C, Rusty Rowley. One day grade lane shift, Lily Kurtzinger. One day wing A unload, Nick Everett. One day PSC, Neil Smith. One day hub training, Savannah Van Godem. One day revenue recovery, Talia. She's sick tonight, so she won't be here. So congratulations. And my final award I'm going to talk about is our legacy speaker. As you know, each class they pick someone that they feel has been a leader in the class. Someone they've given lots of speeches and got opportunities to share and talk during class. And the class votes on this person. So for this class, from the one day small sort C, Rusty Rowley.
Our real primary objective is to serve, to render perfect service to our stores and their customers. If we keep that objective constantly in mind, our reward in money can be beyond our fondest dreams. In the early days of UPS, we didn't look at losses and damages in merchandise as just so much expense for our company. We looked at them as something that would ruin our reputation in the minds of storekeepers. We didn't look at delayed deliveries and other complaints as a mass of statistics to be filed away and forgotten. We looked at them almost with terror. We regarded every complaint or cause for complaint as a flaw in our service, and we trained all our people to prevent them. We didn't look with complacency at shabby, unpainted, dirty automobiles. We imagined that the eyes of all our customers and all prospective customers were focused on every one of our cars that appeared on the streets. I would not have you think we tried to maintain these ideals for the sole reason that we understood then the meaning of the modern term enlightened self-interest. We clearly saw that in doing our work for the stores as well as it should be done, we would at the same time advance our interests. There would be no united parcel service if smaller, earlier groups of our people had not maintained ideals of service and appearance. Without those high ideals, we could not have retained the support of the stores we served, nor won the confidence of those we hope to serve. Neither can we do so in the future. The ideals of our company cannot be carried out from the top alone. They must become a part of the makeup of our entire organization. They must be instilled in the minds of all, down through the ranks. James Casey spoke these words at the UPS Plant Managers Conference in 1947. 1947, a time of political strife, worldwide recuperation, and America's growth as a world power. At that time, Casey sought an opportunity to remind his employees, our forefathers, of an important lesson that we must not forget. Our primary objective at UPS is service. Service to the customer is always important. If we failed to make service for customers, we wouldn't have 111 years of service to a worldwide community. But service to ourselves, those above and below, matter the most. How would the American Messenger Company take off without the service of our 4 founders? What about the service to employees when American Messenger Company and the Motorcycle Delivery Company merged in 1913, or the rebranding as United Parcel Service in 1919? What about the service when in 1980, UPS opened the operation in Louisville, or in 2002 when Worldport, or H2K Smalls, was built and expanded upon? And look how it's grown. The extension of Wing D&E and the potential of 2 more wings in the works. It just shows how much more space we need to grow as a company, both in the eyes of UPS and in the eyes of the world. Service to our employees and our management team, though, starts with the trust you've placed within us. We've been handed a 111-year-old legacy, one that can last the ages if we make service a top priority. We as frontline supervisors have a beast to tangle with each night. We have a sword and employees to deal with. There's a fine balance when supervising both, but there is one thing to remember. Your employees have a role, and you have one as well. Their job is to fix packages, while ours is to correct them and lift them up. A trust has been given to us, a trust that we cannot take lightly. James Casey had a trust within us. Our management team has one as well. Why? Well, they've seen something within us. What is that? Within each of us, there is a mysterious innate force that pushes us forward. It wants us to do better and to be better. Call that force a conscience, your ambition, your determination, your power of will, or whatever you want to choose. It constantly whispers in our ears words of advice, words to instigate, and words of encouragement. Do not become complacent. Listen to the voice within. Your growth and success will depend on your response. Utilize that power within you. Push it to its potential, and if you train it and use it correctly, nothing on earth can stop it. Thank you.
Next, we'll give out the awards and the certificates. John, you got a perfect test score. You can clap.
Good evening. My name is John Marvin Davis. I currently work on the one-day Ram 6. I work with Steve Merchant, Lou Wimmer, Rod Thornton, and Miles Agabon. I intend on taking with me from FSTS the relationships and network possibilities that I've attained here. In order to better fulfill my role in the operation and the company, I must rely on those around me. None of us are superhuman, as we may wish to believe ourselves. So, from that, the lines of communications have been opened up. Now we can talk to each other if there's an issue. Like if I need something from a certain building or my plane will go late, I can reach out to one of my cohorts here and talk to them and ask about something. This communication will make us succeed, and that success is what I desire most, as I'm sure the rest of you do. Thank you.
TJ.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Timothy Dunn. I work in one day, Great Lane. I work with Jess Sorota, Mike Lee, and Mike Bond. A couple of the many things I took from FSTS were different leadership skills and techniques of how to be a better overall supervisor. Also, the importance of accountability and how my employees depend on me to come into work every night with a positive attitude and lead them to a safe and effective workplace. Thank you.
My name is Justin Green. I work on the 2-day side in Wing B in the West End shift. I work with Gary Kelly, Tom McPherson, and Kyle Olnick. One thing that stood out to me from FSTS is to not make promises with your employees from the beginning of the store. Take that consideration, let them know that you'll think of that, and let them know that you'll let them know that you'll remember that and get back to them during the store. Thank you.
Elias. Elias got a perfect test score.
Good evening. My name is Elias Thompson. I work in Wing A, outbound. I work with Dave Delph, Jeremy Reches, and Brian Overall. One thing I took from class is what I learned from the ramp. So I learned that the ramp has planes that come in every night, and I woke up at 7:05. Got to go on to the 7:05. I've never been as high before, and I learned how they load the plane, and that it's actually pretty tough to load those cans into since they're on the incline. But I also learned about small sort and how complicated it is out there, and I also learned about accountability and how to hold all my people to higher expectations. Thank you.
Emma.
Good evening. My name is Emma Kirby, and I work on the 1-day side of the Wing C ramp. I work with Dave Delph, Andy Hetfinger, and David Cooper. Something that has really stuck with me from FSTS is how to not only be a leader, but to be an effective leader. This class has helped me hone skills that I already possess, such as wanting to lead and being able to communicate. FSTS taught me how to effectively lead people by using the 3x5 approach and by making sure I'm leading people in the right direction by using constructive and appreciative feedback. Over the course of the last 3 weeks, I learned how to communicate effectively, whether that be to check for understanding and clarification, or to even just the little things like remaining open-minded. Thank you.
Richard got a perfect test score.
Good evening. My name is Richard Reisner. I work in the 1-day Worldport Freight Facility truck operation. I work with Nancy Bottoms, Jim Titus, and Larry Stewart. Something in particular I will be taking back from FSTS is, most of all, something of the quality of a good leader. Something of the quality of a good leader. To reach our current position, we had to commit to growing, to learning new things, to working hard, to being here on time every day. And someone else had to commit to believing in us, to investing in us. Wanting things is cheap. Wanting things is cheap. It's easy to want money, to think that some other job or position would have greener grass, but any position, wherever you go, if you can want things all day long, but it's still work. So at FSTS, you've given us more than 100 reasons, more than 100 pages of reasons why we cannot become complacent. I think that this has also served, though, to be an excellent reminder of the primacy of faithfulness. Because the attitude I bring to my work, the commitment that I have to growth, the way I respond to correction, the character that I reveal by my choices, whatever my position, wherever I end up in a company, faithful judgment and growth is the word. Faithful judgment and growth. So, and to our upper management team, one, thank you for being here, but we are counting on you to set the example, to hold us accountable, and to keep on investing and believing. Again, my name is Richard Reisner. It's a privilege to stand among you this evening. Thank you.
Sabrina got a perfect test score and had a perfect PCM.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sabrina Hammond. I work on the
I will be taking from FSTS is how to be more confident in the decisions that I make as a person of management, how to solve conflict in my operation, and how to effectively communicate with not only my employees but also my fellow management members. Thank you.
Morgan H. Perfect test score.
Good evening. My name is Morgan Howard. I'm from Small Store International. My management team is Jeff Sirota, Michael Sowers, and Deanna Craig. My biggest takeaway from FSTS is how important relationships are for any work area. The most important part of relationships is trust. If we show our employees that they can trust us, not only with their questions with the work area, but also with their well-being, they will be more likely to trust us. Thank you.
Cody. Cody got a perfect test score.
Good evening. My name is Cody Wilson. I work in the 1DA International Operations import side. One thing I've learned from FSTS was make sure you're keeping your people engaged, even though you have to send your people to different work areas. So just make sure you tell them that you appreciate them and tell them that you care. So that makes, when you tell them that, if that happens again, that makes sure you know that you can always count on them to go to different places. Thank you.
Savannah. Savannah had a perfect test score and a perfect PCM.
Hello, my name is Savannah Simpson. I work on one day small sword secondary along with Jeff Sirota, Mike Armette, and Tanisha Tinsley. The most important thing that I've learned in FSTS is the importance of building strong relationships with my employees. When I return to the sort, my goal is to communicate more effectively as well as getting to know my people better. I also want to thank everyone in this room who has or who will help me, teach me, and support me throughout my career at PS. Thank you.
Morgan. Morgan got a perfect test score.
Hello, my name is Morgan Ferris. I work in one day grade line King Secondary. I work with Jeff Sirota, Mike Lee, and Jason Rutledge. During my time at FSTS, I have learned many important lessons that will help me to become a better supervisor and also a better leader. Of these skills, I think the ones that will stick with me the most are those regarding better communication with my employees. I will take these lessons and apply them to each sort and hope that I will make a positive environment for my employees in which they can constantly grow and learn. Thank you.
Garrett.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Garrett Bates. I work in the next day building one operation with Steve Merchant, Lou Wimmer, and Kevin Butler. Something I want to take back to my area and my building from FSTS is accountability. I just like to hold myself accountable and hold my employees accountable. And I want to hold myself accountable for holding them accountable on everything they do, whether it's positive or negative, and whether they're just doing amazing or I need to correct some behavior that they are doing. Thank you.
Moses. Moses got a perfect test score.
Moses Savwatch. I work in the one-day sort in the North Core with Jeff Sirota, Bob Wood, and Greg Ketchum. So throughout my time in FSTS, I learned many things that will help me be a reliable frontline supervisor. But one thing that stood out to me that continuously came up was the necessity of building relationships. Cultivating meaningful and healthy relationships are extremely important for daily success and also mutual achievement. So whether it's relationships with my employees, relationships with other frontline supervisors, or relationships with my full-timer, manager, even division manager, building relationships helps us achieve a mutual benefit. So practically, as for in my area, if we by building relationships, by knowing my people, by knowing them personally and they know me, when the time comes, for example, if it is 2:45 and it's late in the sort and we get a 100% Amazon truck that comes up, I know that I can count on my people to work hard, to work safely, effectively, to get the job done. And that all happens because I've worked to build that relationship. So build relationships of trust, relationships of loyalty, friendship, respect, and it all works out to benefit both of them and me and the operation. So cultivating relationships are astronomically important, not only to the sort, but for everybody's mutual benefit. Thank you.
All right, Rusty, there are 5 awards that are possible in this class. You win all 5 of them. You got the Knowledge Bee winner, the Competition Team winner, Perfect Test Score, Perfect PCM, and the Legacy Award.
Good evening, my name is Russell Riley. I work in the one-day small sort C. I work with Jeff Sirota, Charlie Harper, and Tyler Huntley. And one of the many things that I'll be taking back with me from FSTS is the importance of positive relationships. Relationships both with my employees, both with my manager, both with my management team around me. It's necessary. It's very, very necessary because you need to be able to rely upon one another. And reliability is key. If I need help in my area and I've sent my people out and if the sort's going well, I can hopefully count on my management team to send them back to me. That way I can use them for my area. But at the same time, with my seat, if I need to send people out, they can count on me to send them out to help them as well. And even if the night doesn't go as well as it should, and we all get back to the office, we can all still look and go, okay, what can we learn from this, and build the same relationship from that as well. So, thank you.
Mike, you got a Perfect PCM.
Good evening. My name is Michael Mitchell. I work on the 2-day side in the Building 1 operation. I work with Gary Kelly, Elaine Atkins, and Josh Walker. The thing I'll be taking away from FSTS is how teamwork and cooperation are key for not only as me as a management personnel and other management, but also for building relationships within my people and within our community. Thank you.
Nick, on the winning competition team.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As stated before, my name is Nick Everett. I work in Wing Alpha Unload with the great David Delph, the great Jeremy Retches, and the great Tyler Kirk. All right. Integrity. So we throw that word out a lot. The first ever question that Curly ever asked me in an interview setting was a mock interview. Was, what does integrity mean? And at the time, I didn't know what it meant. And he told me, doing the right thing, even when nobody's watching. And just the other day, we had the great Stephen Merchant coming in. And also Steve, I apologize. And he talked to us about the importance of integrity. And I'd say that was probably the biggest thing I took away from FSTS. Because as a person that tries to be the best that he can and tries to do the right thing all the time, having good integrity is important to me. And as he said, it's easy to lose and it's hard to get back. If you lose that integrity or if you do the wrong thing, you have to not only face your upper management team, your management peers, but I think most importantly, you have to face yourself. And I can't face myself in the mirror knowing that I did the wrong thing, which is why I will strive to have great integrity. So in short, from FSTS, I will strive to always have great integrity. Thank you.
Amber, she got a perfect PCM and a perfect test score.
Good evening. My name is Amber Russell. I work in the one-day wing feeder load. I work with Steve Merchant, Kevin Stone, and George Baker. One of the many things I want to take away from FSTS is that out in the operation, we are a team. One of our speakers said that she has a one sweats, all sweats rule. This is the way I want to run my area. I want all of my employees to work together to make the SORT successful. I want to take this out to the SORT to get them more involved within the SORT and outside of the SORT. Whether that be going to Waffle House on a Thursday just to build, a strong team, or having a potluck before the SORT. At the end of the day, a stronger team is a better team, in my opinion. Thank you.
Dina.
Good evening. My name is Dina Emick. I work in the one-day SORT Wing B outbalance operation. I work with Dave Delp, Mike Perkins, and Carly Chapman. Something I'm going to take away from FSTS is I have a better understanding of how the Worldport operation works. I will now be able to help out my partners with better serving our customers. I also understand how to be a better leader for my employees, communicating more efficiently, effectively, and appreciating them more often. Just some of the things I need in order to move up within this company. Thank you.
Savannah, she got a perfect test score and was on the winning competition team.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Savannah Van. I work within the 1DA Hub Training Department. I work with Scott Gregory, Dave Dobb, and Bill Clarkson. One of the many things I have taken from FSTS is how I can be a more effective leader within the training department, and how I can be a more effective trainer within the 4 days I have a new hire. By applying the 7 steps to effective training to not only my work life, but my everyday life. Also, FSTS has helped me to see the leader already within myself. Thank you.
Sapphire, she got a perfect test score.
Good evening. My name is Sapphire Burke. I work within the one-day Hub Training Department. I work with Scott Gregory, Dave Dobb, and Bill Clarkson. One of the many things I am taking away from FSTS is a greater appreciation for the operation in each role. No matter how big or small a job may seem, it has huge effects. So I feel like this will help me explain to my new hires why it's so important to learn their job and perform their job correctly.
Forrest, you got a perfect test score and a perfect PCM.
Good evening, my name is Forrest Laswell. I work on the one-day Wing D ramp. I work with Dave Delp, Eric Haycraft, Jason Kendall, and Jess Kellums. One of the many things I've learned in FSTS is that integrity and accountability are everything. We must not cut corners or steer away from our core ideas. By doing so, we not only jeopardize our company, but also at times our people's lives. I've been taught by my management team that we as supervisors must make quick decisions as leaders. Sometimes these decisions work out and prove to be successful, but many times we will fail. It is important that we take responsibility for these actions and learn from these mistakes. Thank you.
Dylan, you got a perfect test score and a perfect PCM.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Dylan Mays. I work in one-day small sports secondary. I work with Jeff Sirota, Mike Armett, and Tyler Burton. One thing I'll be taking from FSTS class, one thing it added to my belt, is the drive to be uncomfortable. Just how I am right now, I'm not very comfortable. But they make me want to do this because it's in times of comfort that we become complacent, and I came here to grow. So they make me want to strive to be uncomfortable, even though it's hard. Thank you.
Ray.
Good evening. My name is Rachel Benito, and I am a small sort supervisor for one day primary. I work alongside with Jeff Sirota, Charlie Harper, and John Massell. Today, I'm going to talk about what being an effective leader. Norman just did an awesome presentation about being an effective leader, and he takes you through every single step. And being an effective leader doesn't just necessarily have something to do with in the operation. It goes with you wherever you go. So if you were being a leader at the grocery store, or something happens and everybody's like, I don't know what to do. If you're not going to do something and stand up, nobody's going to do anything. So when you're in the operation and something's blowing up, your people are looking for you to make the sign, looking for you to lead them to do something correct. So being an effective leader is very, very important in this position. So that's something that I will take very seriously as I go back into the operation. Thank you.
Lily, she got a perfect test score, perfect PCM, and a competition.
Good evening. My name is Lily Kritzinger. I work in the one-day grade lane shift. I work with Steve Merchant, Kevin Stone, and Stacy Adams. Out of the many things we learned, I'm going to be talking about building relationships and communications with your employees. This class has given me a better outlook on how to handle situations correctly and communicate efficiently inside and outside of UPS. Thank you.
Neil, you got a perfect test score and the competition team.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Neil Smith. I work in the next day customer service department. I work with Tad Dowdy, Kathy Cottrell, and Donna Amity. I learned many things here at FSTS, but one thing that really stuck out to me was the influential motivators, which is achievement and recognition. I believe these are important to, because I want to take back to my workplace more of a positive reinforcement with my employees, because I believe with more positive reinforcement that it will create a safer work environment, higher quality service, and help our company grow. Thank you.
Matthew, you got a perfect PCM.
Good evening. My name is Matthew Morris. I work in one-day grade lane shift, and I work with Steve Merchant, Kevin Stone, and Andrew Nunn. Out of the many things I've learned from FSTS, integrity is something that stood out after our talk with Steve Merchant. Integrity is something to do the right thing when no one is looking at you or when someone is observing you. I will not only instill integrity in myself, but with my employees, and I will not only use this in my work life, but in my personal life. Thank you.
All right, next up for our closing, I would like to bring up Mary Pacaladas.
All right, congratulations. Not to me, but to you guys. All right, so 13 days, right? You guys got this done in 13 days? Was the worst day the day you spent in small sort? Who said yes? Thank you for your honesty. Good job. But we really do appreciate that, okay, by the way. All right, so I know you guys are ready to go home. Hopefully you guys are not going to do any too much extracurricular activity tonight when you leave here, so I'm going to try and make this short. All right, but I want to leave you guys with 2 words. 1, your education. All right, that goes into a lot of things. You guys all look fairly young to me. Most of you are probably still in school. Throughout my years here, I've had hundreds of frontline supervisors. And what I see, a lot of them, is that their school sometimes gets neglected, okay? So don't forget about that. Continue your education. You guys went and seen a lot of cool places, right, besides small sort. You went and seen some places maybe you think you want to go to, right? You want to continue your career here possibly. Maybe outside of here, you want to go on and do great things, right? I'm going to tell you education, okay? Never forget that word. It also means inside UPS. You got to develop your education here as well, all right? You got all these folks. Look at all of this age that was around you, right? Some of them a little more than others. They got a lot of education here. Some of them outside of work too, I hope, but a lot of education. So you got to continue to develop yourself within UPS as well. All right, so use these tools outside of what you've learned in here. Get with these folks to help you develop those tools. All right, and the last word I'm going to use is the one I think is the most important, and that's care. Angie, not the care as in the care package system, but care. Care about your employees. Care about your management team. Care about your job. Too many times we come to work and we forget why we're here. Yes, we all want to make a paycheck. No one wants to come here for free. No one wants to work for free, right? But you need to care. And most of all, care about the employees, because if you do not care about them, I can promise you, they will not care about how your sort runs. So when it's snowy and people don't want to come to work, if they care about you because you cared about them, they'll come in. If the night is really horrible and small sort is at 64%, they're going to put in the extra effort because you cared about them. So they care about their job, even when it's frustrating. So yes, use every tool that these folks have taught you over the past 13 days. I'm going to tell you because they're all important. Accountability, it sounds like merch is an excellent influence in all of your lives. And integrity is important. But I'm going to tell you, we cannot succeed without our employees. And if you want to improve safety, you want to improve retention, you want to improve all your wonderful numbers, care about your employees. Okay, that comes down to the bottom line for me. All right, so with that, that's really all I got. Go get your pictures taken, have a good night, enjoy your day off tomorrow. They still get that? They do? There you go, you've earned it. Okay, you really have earned it. So go have a good UPS career or whatever it is you strive to be. All right? Thank you. That's all I got.
So you guys just went from future partners to full-fledged partners now. All right? You got the support of the room. You know people now, right? Get them in your Rolodex. Don't hesitate to ask for help. All right, put in your info. So, yeah, I forgot, I'm sorry. But anyway, back to the point. It is about support. And you got to know that there's someone there wanting you to be successful, because they want to be successful. So don't think you gotta make all the decisions on your own. We want you to make some decisions, but we want you, if you get confused or you need help, ask. Go knock on a door. Call the great merch. But do what you need to do, because we want you to be successful. And like I said before, some of us are phasing out, and at an alarming rate. We need you guys to microwave that knowledge up, get that tribal knowledge. It's not that easy but bake oven thing where you can sit around and watch buildings grow. It's here. Buildings not going. We might add some things later, but it's here, and it's time to shine. So with that, thank you for coming out. Congratulations. Thanks. I'd like to thank everybody for showing up and supporting your team. And that's it. Have a great day.